Most people think their homeowners insurance automatically covers everything in their home: jewelry, collectibles, guns. But after spending years in restoration, walking into homes after fire and water damage, I can tell you that assumption is one of the most expensive mistakes that I've seen. So grab your coffee and let's talk about what your policy actually covers and what it probably doesn't. Hi, I'm Jackie Best with Best Agency Insurance. This is Coffee Conversations, where we're going to break down insurance in plain English. No jargon, no pressure, just real information that can actually help you. So let's start with jewelry. Engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, things you've inherited. These are usually some of the most emotionally valuable pieces in your home. Most homeowners' policies will cover personal property, but jewelry is usually limited. So here's where people are surprised. A standard policy may only cover about $1,000 to $2,000 for jewelry theft. And that's not per item, that is total coverage for that category. Many policies only respond if the item is stolen, not if it's misplaced. So if you have a $6,000 engagement ring or a $15,000 wedding set, there is a good chance that you are underinsured without even realizing it. The good news is there's a simple fix. You can usually add something called a scheduled personal property endorsement. This is where each item is specifically listed and insured for the value. For higher value items, you'll need an appraisal usually, or a receipt or documentation. So let's talk about guns and firearms. This is another area where people are often surprised. Most policies do include firearms under personal property, but again, there are usually limits. There can be caps on how much is covered for theft and also limits on coverage outside the home, like if you're hunting or transporting your guns. And depending on the situation, liability coverage can get complicated pretty quickly. So I want to be clear. This is not about politics or opinion, strictly about understanding how insurance responds to that risk. The key takeaway is simple. Do not assume your gun collection is fully protected just because it's inside your home. If guns are part of your household, it is worth reviewing how they are listed and what limits apply and what coverage you have. Let's talk about coins, collectibles, and heirlooms next. Probably the most understood category that I've seen so far. Coin collections, rare collectibles, family heirlooms that are passed down for generations. Most standard homeowners policies have pretty limited coverage for these items. And in some cases, they may even be grouped under cash or precious metals with pretty strict limits. They're not always insured anywhere near their true value. So if you've been collecting for years or you've inherited a collection, there's a good chance the coverage is not what you think it is. And here's something I learned firsthand working in fire and water restoration. When a loss happens, people do not just lose the physical item, they lose sentimental value, irreplaceable meaning. Insurance can only replace what is properly documented and covered. And that's why documentation matters so much. Photos, appraisals, inventory lists, even simple videos can make a huge difference if you have a claim. So the common theme here is one thing, not that homeowners insurance does not cover these items at all, but that standard coverage is not designed for high value or specialized belongings. Most people don't find that out until they have a loss. The good news is this is usually fixable. Jewelry can be individually scheduled or blanket coverage. Guns can be properly reviewed and listed. Coin collections can often be scheduled or insured with increased limits. And overall, coverage can be adjusted before anything happens, which is the best way to do it. The key is knowing what you actually have in place today and what will happen when a claim occurs. If you have never had someone review your policy line by line and explain it in plain English, you're not alone. If you would like a no pressure review of your coverage, I would be happy to help. And if you have a question that you want answered in a future Coffee Conversations episode, drop it in the comments and I'll be sure to take a look. Thanks for having coffee with me, and I will see you in the next one.